everybody. Welcome to Crowdsurfing. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Camilla.
There are all kinds of things happening here. As of now, I think many of us now live in Fort Myers.
Yes. Well, we have places to stay here.
To Homestead. Announcement made today. We would not want to deprive him of his drive.
Bananas.
Anyhow, so things are coming up, folks. But before we start talking about things that are coming up, we want to say a quick thank you to our sponsor, Gamefound. And here's a project on Gamefound right now. Today we're taking a look at Realm Reforged Essential Fantasy Miniatures. So this is basically just a pile of miniatures. And you can see there's all sorts of miniatures here from this ancient one, who definitely is not Cthulhu, but this is what these are made for. These are made for you to use in various games. So here's kind of a whole look at all of them. They even have a way for you to stick them in Dungeons and Dragons or other role-playing games. Here's the scale. Obviously, this Ancient Dweller is the biggest one, but these are 28mm miniatures. Now, this is a revival. Originally, Blacklist Games made these, so anyone who did that pledge has a chance to still get them from here at half off, and they also have committed to making these models. There's a new company making everything here, and there's some really neat stuff here. So let's just take a quick look. We got a bunch of mages. So if you play role-playing games, you kind of have your pick. They picked the mages and the different, for example, here's the rogues and the bards and the different races so that you can kind of find one, hopefully, that matches you a bit. We have the war priests here, the warriors. So you can see there's quite a few different ones, some NPCs, because you're always going to run into a blacksmith. And then the beasts. These are my favorite. I really like the bears. I don't know why you would need 4 cats, but maybe cats have gone evil. No one ever knows. And a giant scorpion. Oof. So anyhow, there is a lot of different monsters and things. So if you run a D&D or Pathfinder campaign and you're looking for more stuff to stick in it, then this is the way to do so. So check it out. It's on Gamefound right now. This is Realm Reforged from Wildspire Miniatures. All right. Hey, we're getting ready here every day for Dice Tower East.
We are.
Come join us. Yes. Lots of the games that we talked about in Crowdsurfing 5 years ago are now in the library. Some of them 4 or 3 years ago.
And there are lots of new games see on here are going to be demoed at Dice Tower East.
Yes.
So
hey, so Dice Tower East is a little bigger than last year, but we could run out of tickets, so do not delay. Get them soon. When do we stop selling tickets?
We'll definitely stop selling 2 weeks before, unless we sell out before then.
Yep. And that's on y'all. So come on out, have fun at the convention.
I say, and be sure to check out the hotel, too. We stayed in a resort, the Carib. It is fantastic. It's a beautiful resort, so your whole family can come and enjoy it.
Yep.
All right, well, we got some Kickstarter / Gamefound projects. No Backerkit, although there is a Backerkit one that we'll make next week, I saw. We're in a weird place right now, and I know that a lot of this is because of, events going on, but there's a lot of cool projects that are on crowdfunding right now. Many of them are not ending this week.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you're going with that.
There's a few, but there are some cool projects that are out there. It's not like everything is shut down.
Okay.
It's not a great week.
Yeah, we're kind of in between breaths, I guess, is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
So here we go.
All right. I got you.
Let's take a look at Starleap, all letters capitalized.
Starleap. Now, this is from the guys who did something else that stood out to me. Their first game.
Boba.
Oh, that's right. That's a Bobatage. Did you guys ever play that? Did that
I did. Come through here.
It's pretty terrible.
Oh.
I mean,
but it's about boba.
I know, but it's just a typical collect the ingredients to make your boba tea and also play a card that says, I steal 2 of your ingredients.
Okay. So it's very
as I do when I'm making boba tea, I'm like, I'll take some of that thing.
Oh, I do.
Is that your boba? Are you drinking that? Okay, well, this looks pretty. I like the cartoony sort of cutesy, everything's fluffy kind of look.
I feel like I saw this at Essen. I might be wrong. This looks way more interesting than Sabotage.
I think that this one is, what was it called? Sabotage.
Stop naming your games.
I'm not making fun of you, right? I want to be clear. I'm not making fun of Tom here.
Sabotage with the word boba in it. Sabotage.
Okay. This one, it was interesting because it's like you can choose your game length by putting the tiles into the board, you know, and which sounds like a cool thing. Ooh, do I want a short 15-minute game or do I have a bigger group? We want to go longer. You know, it has that variability. But to me, really what that comes down to is it's like with take that and randomness, it just means like, how long do you want this game? Like, how miserable do you want? How long do you want your misery to be, kind of thing? I mean, if the game is balanced at 15 minutes and at 45, then why are you playing that long?
I agree.
Why don't you just play one round? Yes. It's not going to change over the course of time. That's actually one of my
big complaints of longer games is if this could have been achieved in 2 hours, why am I playing 4?
Right. And so it's one of those things that they're selling, and it sounds neat, but I think the practicality of it is just going to be very flat.
The fact that you can put the little sticks and change the path, it's kind of like the game of life or whatever. It's a path thing. But I do like that the spaces are randomized, and it's not really, doesn't really add anything to the variability ultimately, but it feels like it does. And that matters. Yeah. You know, I feel like the game is a little different each time I play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you Googling these people? Google these people real quick.
Thank you, DJ, for the super chat.
Anyway, I can't cut and paste here. Robert Hovakamanyan, I feel like I've seen a game from him before. That's why I wonder.
Was it Sabotage?
Oh, I guess I could just have read his biography down here. It doesn't say anything here. It says he likes Knizia's games, though. Anyhow, I feel like it looks like a kid's game very strongly, but they don't say that.
You don't think it implies that? I think it implies it's kind of a family game, including little kids.
I think it includes like a family weight game. Like it looks like it's going to be on the Target shelf next to all the other little cute ones. I can't think of that. There's a unicorn one out.
Rainbow Unicorn.
I don't know what that is.
By the way, I'm okay with the...
I do.
I'm okay with the box sleeve fad. I thought it was dead. It looks like it's still around, but I'm okay if it just keeps dying. Anyhow,
it says Robert designed... so he designed some good stuff. Moon Rollers, Bebop, and Shuffle and Swing. The last two there are from Bitewing.
Oh,
see? I'm telling you, this game looks good.
And then he immediately responds in the chat and says, supposedly he designed those. He himself doesn't know if he designed them.
All right. Well, anywho, I think it looks really good. The reason I'm saying the kids thing, you said it's implied. I think there's too much going on in it for it to be a kids game. So, but that's an art thing.
Wiggle your, there it is. It does look like there's a whole lot going on. The look, again, also, if you're playing with serious people, like if you bring it to game night, will the look work against you, or will it be, disarming? It'll be like, oh, it's silly, let's try it.
We'll give it a try.
I think it's one, too, that might... It would do well in a demo situation, like if you could try it at a con, if you could, at Gen Con or Dice Tower East, something like that. If you had that chance to sit down, I think a lot of those questions would be very quickly answered, and that's what I'm missing from this project.
I think any game that has, in my opinion, those kind of things that are at odds, that from the outsider's perspective feel at odds, that game says 120 minutes, but it looks like it's for kids.
Right.
That game has dexterity, but it looks over here like it's strategic. Anything like that, a demo.
Right.
That certainly dispels a lot of those misconceptions very quickly.
I agree.
Sure.
Thank you, DJ, for the super chat. All right.
DJ.
Humblewood, Beyond the Canopy. So we went from a huge, a small Kickstarter to a huge one here. Now, this was one,
I got to tell you, I had to read way too far for it to be clear that this is an expansion to something else, and these guys are refusing to mention the something else.
I thought this was the one that was the 5th edition, like D&D.
It's like more stuff for Humblewood.
Which is
some kind of RPG setting. I don't know.
Okay, I thought it was like a setting for 5th edition rules, is what I thought.
I guess
it's what I got from the video. But again, same thing it said in the last 10 seconds of the video.
I agree. It's just like, I think it's weird that I started reading literally from the top of the page, and it took a while for me to put together. You guys really do not care about selling this to somebody who doesn't have Humblewood.
Yeah.
Why? Like your first paragraph should say, Humblewood is blah, 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 blah. This is an expansion to that.
A standalone expansion or a new expansion to the great big,
I'm trying
to
to figure
whatever
out
it is.
why I put this in my in the roundup. Did I?
Because it
of the
looks
minis?
pretty.
In your
The
roundup?
very first thing they mention, which I think is
Oh,
weird,
I see.
is coloring book, because you
Yeah.
asked for it. That is not the first thing I should read, folks. unless you're kickstarting the coloring book.
Yeah.
That's cute, but I need to know what the project is.
I have noticed that there is not a big crossover between my kids' desires for coloring books and my desires for things in life. Like, if they made an Elden Ring coloring book, my son wouldn't be like, finally. Well, he doesn't color anymore, but you know what I mean? The kids who color, it's always a weird juxtaposition. I got the ha-ha when they made that first Cthulhu coloring book. It was like this whole... Now they do it more often, and then people say, well, adults color.
Yeah, it's a big adult hobby.
Is it, though? Or is
It
it a
is.
big hobby that people say they do?
I think I do. I do think a lot of people do color as adults as a relaxation / meditation or meditative kind of thing. I don't know if this would kind of give you that feel, but...
Right, or they do it like while they're watching TV, something like that, kind of like knitting.
It's
like
exactly
a knitting
it.
hobby. It's a relaxation.
Sure, but when you knit, you then show me what you've knit. When you do these other things, you might have them displayed on your wall. I've never been to someone's house where they have had a coloring picture that they colored on the wall.
No, I mean that's like saying I paint minis, so I'm going to display my minis. I don't.
You definitely show them off. You don't hide them.
I mean, if someone asks or wants to see in the same way that, you color, let me see, then I would show them my coloring, same kind of thing.
But my argument is maybe you don't, but I guarantee you painters of minis show them off online. This is the whole point of it. I get to see someone say, here's a picture I colored today.
Maybe it's more...
I think maybe it's just personal.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
Maybe it's just kind of like it's relaxing and it's for me, but the end product isn't the point. I don't know.
Right, I think,
The point being, we've talked more about coloring than your
Good
project.
Puppers Too. This continues the, I guess, the millennials'
It's a sequel, man.
definition of getting the word puppers into the lexicon.
What is a pupper?
Just
a
another
little
word
pupper.
for dog.
It's a puppy dog. It's a pupper.
Speaking of that, folks,
Pupper. Oh,
if you remember 6 years ago,
thanks, guys.
the Dice Tower somehow had cats invade us. A mother cat left us with 4 kids. It seems like this has happened again. Yes. There's now 4 kittens living outside Dice Tower Studios. I feel like history's repeating itself.
3 kittens. 3 kittens.
They might have moved. I think they might have moved.
Are we down to 3?
I've not seen a kitten in 24 hours.
We think they might have moved though.
To the farm.
That's what we told
No,
him.
I think they moved like across
so.
to like that wooded
Well, that's because
area.
we didn't put food out.
Yeah, you said not to. You literally forbid people from doing that.
But he didn't say water,
get
and I
the
watered
truth
I
out
said
there.
last time I said if we put food out, Mike was going to own 3 more cats.
Oh, well.
So we can't do that to Mike.
2 cats.
Stop.
Just kidding. I'm being dark. I'm being dark.
During
I'm
this
kidding.
conversation.
No. The mom was gone for over a day, like 2 days. We didn't see the mom,
Yeah, she was out drinking.
and then she came back, and the kittens drank, and then they went, and we
did.
haven't seen them since.
Correct.
So,
Just happening outside the
Anyway.
windows.
They were
There was
cute.
a lot of
They
like.
were living in the Dice Tower van.
yes, Mike, we have purposely not texted you about the kittens.
All right. Anyway, Good Puppers 2 is not about cats. It's about dogs. And my dogs are not good puppers, although they were good for a brief period of time when we moved this past weekend because we drugged them. And I said,
It's
so
getting
good.
dark.
I said,
This whole
can-
conversation
It's
is
so
getting
good.
so
I said,
dark.
can we do this more
Oh,
often?
man.
Because the dogs, they sat on the floor and they went to sleep. And I was like, you didn't get up
Did they
in the
wake
night
up?
and walk around at 1 a.m.? No.
And they woke up the next day?
Oh, they're fine.
Just making sure. Just
fine,
checking your
goodness.
dosage.
But they are definitely, my dogs are adjusting
Ruh.
Yeah,
not
no.
well to the move. They're like, where are we? Why are we here? What's this new place? Let's
mean,
market everything.
In their defense, they did go to sleep and woke up. Completely new area, brand new smells.
Yeah.
It's not your home. It's not your smell. Like
I'm
they
all
have
for that. I'm
nothing.
just saying, I don't often use the
I think
word
you should-
good puppers.
You should do this
I like
like
these
weekly.
pins.
Keep them on their toes.
So about
You might
this
wonder how
game-
many conversations can we get into before we look at this game. We're done.
All of them.
Your puppers want to bury bones in your yard.
Yep.
Is that a thing? It's like
Dogs hiding their toys.
My
yeah.
dogs do not bury stuff. No.
I think
because they're
it's
drugged.
a lot more like dogs are not brand. Geez, breed specific, right? Like.
Yeah.
What they do with them. I've definitely had dogs that dig. I never had them that buried things in the yard. But they
Yeah.
buried around the house. They had stashes.
Fuzzy used to dig. When we first got Fuzzy 5 years ago, Jimmy was 6. And so the Jimmy-Fuzzy combo, I'd come in the backyard, and there'd be a big hole there, and Jimmy and the dog are covered in dirt, and I'm like,
oh, what happened?
what is wrong?
The dog did it.
They would dig together.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. That's adorable.
That's a good way to bond.
It.
Yeah.
I love it.
My wife loved it. All right, anyway, they want to bury stuff. So did we ever play Good Puppers?
No, I don't think
No.
I know I did not. I don't think it came
I don't think it came through here at all.
It's cute. It definitely has a cute look. I like the illustrations quite a bit.
Yeah, it's cute. Seems like kind of a set collection thing because the more of the same dog breed you have, the more efficient you get at burying the bones.
Right.
So they kind of power up in that way.
I'm a big fan of this, the fact that it's a standalone game and you can combine it with the original. I like stuff like that a lot.
Yeah.
We just got an expansion just now, I think, where I had to read the very back of the box in the small print that it was an expansion. I was like, I think this is standalone.
Oh.
Is it? I'm not quite sure. It was something you had unboxed. And I was like, well, this looks interesting. Is it a standalone game? And it was not. It's an expansion. It takes a while.
Yeah.
You should have expansion on your cover. I'm sorry.
I agree.
If you need the base game.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of them, we'll see that. It'll have like a big thing up in the corner that says expansion, base game required. I feel like that should jump out. Because especially if you go to a game store and you get it and you get home and you don't have the base game, you're like, come on.
That should be standard, required by some kind of governing arm.
Yes. What happens if they don't follow it, though? I need to know the extent of this rule.
Ostracized.
How much Benadryl do they go?
All right,
you get your name written on the Ostracon.
Okay, real quick here, just so you know this exists. We've already talked about NEXUS Arena Combat System in the past, and this is just them raising some extra money to help pay for tariffs. This is not a new product launch. This is a rescue mission. I don't know what they say their goal was.
It was
the
very
goal's
low.
100. That
just
can't
like
be true. It's just like
there was no goal.
money.
This is games made sitting in a warehouse here in the U.S. that they will ship you right now once this is over.
It's pretty much rather than waiting for retail, buy it from us right now because we need these funds. So it's got a pre-order of stuff, but through them, not through a distributor or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, these games are. They only have 500. They'll sell them to you right now. Once this is over, they'll ship it. Is the idea.
VESTA, strategy and survival board game in space.
So this is the one you said that was going to have a demo, Milla, at Dice Tower East?
No, I thought so, but I was actually wrong when I said that. I meant to correct you. Yes, I was incorrect in that. That is...
Good, because this game looks like... No.
Okay. Yeah.
But it is a project we love.
Yeah.
It looks very much like that Dragon Castle game.
Yes!
From...
That was from either Horrible or
Guild.
Terrible. I can't remember which one.
Is this?
Horrible Guild, yeah. And so it's the idea is it's a mahjong construction thing. You remove pieces like mahjong, the computer game, not real mahjong, but like that matching thing on a computer. And so, yeah, you take matching pairs off and then use them to build your own thing. Mm-hmm. But there's pirates in there and some face-down tiles and stuff. I mean, that's a lot of Dragon Castle. It's like 80% Dragon Castle.
Is it? I'm not familiar with that game. To me, it just looked
pretty
fiddly.
similar.
I mean, even watching
Fiddly,
the video, like getting the tiles, like multiple times had to correct the placement of them because I pulled it off. Oops, I moved something else. You know?
Right.
Can I look at the company real quick?
They are wooden tiles as opposed to
Those are
that
Bakelite.
Bakelite.
Okay.
These guys have done...
Blackstone Castle for sure. And then they did Gathering Gloom.
I don't know that I've
too.
played any of their
I don't know if this is the couple that I'm thinking of. Can I see the description? Okay, no, I don't know. I'd have to do deeper research.
All right, well, that's VESTA. Then we have Neon Hope, a storytelling card game. Cyberpunk meets Solarpunk. What is Solarpunk?
I don't know.
I think it's like cyberpunk, but not like the dark and the gritty, because it has like solar energy and that kind of stuff.
So
like
so it's like
clean world.
so it's like a cleaner world.
More
I
utopian?
think. I think so.
I'm not about that, okay?
Yeah.
Give me Cyberpunk. give me Diesel Punk. I love Diesel Punk.
I am 100%. I want my sci-fi to be prettier than not. I don't mind it having a gritty section. They have to go in and fight bad guys or whatever. But this whole everything is...
Yeah.
Like that.
But we wouldn't like that in real life. Why do we
Of
want
course
it
not. That's the point. I want to play it in a video game, in a board game, whatever, and then when I'm done, I can look around and be like, this doesn't suck so much.
Jeez,
It helps me survive.
I like playing when I play a game like Skyrim or something. I've always enjoyed. You're in this cave and it's dark and all these spiders and whatever, and then you get out. You're like, yes, sunlight. But some of these games, you never get out. It's always.
This one is very intriguing to me because
this is interesting.
Various times throughout the project here, either they themselves or a reviewer mentioned, yeah, it kind of feels like Cyberpunk meets Arkham Horror the card game. And it's like you have a character, you're doing, you have your deck, you're going through a story, you do checks like you do in Arkham Horror the card game. And so I like that idea. I'm kind of enjoying the concept, but this theme, I guess, I was finding it really hokey. I wasn't getting into what's happening. You're like a DJ at a club or something, and you go to work and you interact with the people at the club or some. The world was not intriguing me. Is the point?
Really, I think it looks
even Earthborn Rangers, which has a very solar punk kind of setting. It's very vibrant. It's very like cheery, happy. Has a more captivating world than this world to me. I don't really want to go to this setting, and the thing I do in it is like be a DJ or go to a nightclub or something.
I guess I don't know. It depends on where the story goes. I really liked the look. It was reminding me mostly of the Daybreak, that game. It kind of looked like that look, and I liked it. I was intrigued by this world. I don't know. I don't want to do a whole game in a nightclub, but it sounds like that's kind of the entry point. You go in there looking for somebody, and you don't know what comes from there. You know, so I assume you're not spending the whole game in that nightclub. But I'm intrigued by this world. I thought it looked pretty good.
Anything that is kind of Arkham Horror-esque, I am intrigued immediately by. Story-driven card game.
Yeah.
Here's a little game. Aim for the middle. I put this in here because I like this kind of concept, trying to get to the middle, the center-taking card game. There's only a few games have tried stuff like this before, and it sounds like one of those weird little Japanese-type games that you would get from
it seems
Japan brand.
Yeah, it seems very indie. Seems incredibly small. I like seeing this sort of thing available in crowdfunding, where you can, if somebody has a little idea, they want to put it out there and get it made.
Yeah.
Before, you had to do that yourself and then take it to a Tokyo Game Market or something like that. Now, this is a new outlet for that, and I think it's intriguing. The gameplay, the little video I saw, wasn't super clear to me.
It made me feel really stupid.
Yeah, I was like, what am I missing here? The middle card, each player gets dealt 10 cards, and then whoever plays the middle card wins. I'm like, 10 is not divisible by...
But I think it's actually they want to be 10 is what I think. I think I finally nailed down is they want to be 10, right? Because that's halfway between 20, because there's 20 cards. So you want to be 20?
Sure,
I'm sorry, 10?
But I like the idea that there's all this math in it.
This is like all math. I was like...
Tom was just through it because it's mathy,
Yeah, I was like... Ooh.
Yeah, I couldn't quite grasp it from the video. I'll put it that way. And it sounds like you had the same problem.
Yeah. All right, 1918, a First World War miniatures game, which I guess means you just put everything in trenches and let it sit there for a while.
There was a lot of trenches for sure. They'd give you STLs in here, including of trenches, and then you can buy the rule book, I guess, as well.
Also in PDF form or physical form if you want. So this is one that you can get fully digital, which is interesting.
To me, this is not that I would want to be in any war, but I think if I had picked and ranked them in order, this Sitting in the Trenches war would probably be my least favorite of all my least favorite wars to be in. No, it just looks miserable. Every time I see those trenches, they sat there in terrible conditions, and they got out and ran across, got shot, and they died and had to go back and dig another trench.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. Disbox, a 3D printable display box. This seems to pop up often these days.
It's like there's one a week.
I really like the backgrounds, though. I don't know. We haven't seen many of those yet that have the background. We've seen the ones where it's the all open sides or all acrylic sides. I like the idea of these backgrounds.
Do you have
and
to
then
paint
the minis
it for it to work?
You don't have to. No, it'll still be a wall if you don't paint it. But
no, that's
it'll
crazy
look
talk.
Well, that's my concern, right? I know that you're painting a miniature, but then you're buying something else you need to paint to put behind it. I get it that it comes together.
Oh, but these are generic enough that you could do a brick wall and you could switch out what minis are up there if you want. What color do you want the wall to be?
Blue.
Blue, you can do that.
Yes.
Blue Bricks is a copyright Dice Tower.
Blue Bricks. I was confused when the 3D printing. You can obviously modify the columns. You can do the backgrounds, which is really cool. The plexiglass, is that easily findable for the sides? Can you just buy that?
I think you can get it at craft stores and stuff. Can't you get it like Joann's? You can get it like Joann's, Hobby Lobby. Well, Joann's I know are going under a lot of places. Like Michael's, things like that.
You can get that. Can you easily cut it to size?
No, they have to cut it.
Yeah, can you do it there? I know you can also get it from like Home Depot and that kind of stuff.
Hobby
And
Lobby
like
10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But
Done.
also, I mean, you can customize the size.
Let's go
that
ask
these are.
them.
So I don't know if you can go to Hobby Lobby and get like just a 12 by 12. Be like, well, all my boxes are going to be 12 by 12 then, because that's the size that doesn't have to be cut.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
Like, what can I get?
These are great backgrounds, though, for sure.
Look at that. I like
That
the
is
little
so
light they added on. They
cool.
painted that. That's cool.
Joey, did you back this?
No, it's resin. A lot of it's resin, right?
Well, you still have that
it doesn't matter.
3BM printer. What is it?
That's it.
iOS. What's it called?
Otter. It's a box.
B2
U1. A U1 bamboo. Nailed it.
What is it? Boys to
Panda.
Men. Boys to Men. What is it?
DICEVERSE.
You can print it on the
Quick, deep,
other
and
one,
addictive dice strategy game.
Now this
has
looks pretty fun.
They've been pushing this for a while.
Really, I haven't seen this before.
Well, I've definitely seen ads and them talking about this. They have also made
They made that game we played, Meenakshi Temple.
Meenakshi Temple, which
Which one was that?
Meenakshi Temple was the one you played. It also had
feel like it
the you were building levels with the cards.
Yeah, I feel like this.
Little
the
meeples.
name of it.
You stack meeples and you build a temple.
Oh, and you actually stack it.
Yeah.
Yeah, played with. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Played
Yeah, I
with
like that one a
Alex
lot.
also
Yeah,
played with
Alex
Alex.
Marks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Okay.
is one I think because of that. I think I would try this game because of that.
I would too.
I don't like the name DICEVERSE.
I think it's better than Meenakshi Temple, Monokanish, whatever that was. What that?
Well, it's the name
Meenakshi
of an
Temple's a
actual
real place.
That's fine, but I just
Diceverse,
pick one I
not a
know.
real universe.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Pick one I can
Fakeaverse.
say.
Ooh, Fakeaverse.
Dice Punkverse.
Oh, it's a dice punk game. No,
But no, I agree. I think that one, and I liked the idea of this being your little workers. And one thing I hate about miniatures out on a board is as they lose health, and you have to like put tokens on them. If you make them dice like this and they're pipping up and down, I really like that in
Camilla
games.
hates miniatures. You
So-
heard it here.
these
I
come
hate
pre-painted
tokens
also.
on my miniatures.
Paint it. Woo!
Yeah.
Painting dice.
Painting dice is tough. This looks really good. I
This is
love
cool.
the chucking a handful of them in there,
Yeah.
and then you play a card game.
Yeah.
You move your dice, you attack each other.
Yeah.
It looks punchy. This looks like a good, and that name being kind of, I don't know, mass market friendly, DICEVERSE. Very much to me feels like a game that could do well at Target, could do well at those places where somebody grabs it off the shelf. They go, ooh, cute, dice, zombies, whatever. DICEVERSE is not a weird title. They can play that, and then you can expand that thing with new factions.
I also easy way to expand. You know what's reminding me a lot of is Neuroshima Hex, actually.
I was going to say the same thing.
Where you, because you have your individual faction, just to say punchier, quick version of that.
Yeah.
You know, not as long
Do you guys
term
like the
strategic.
art?
Yeah. I think the art
I don't have a problem
is
with it.
very mass market friendly.
I'm
I don't love it. I think it's okay.
I'm very indifferent on it.
What about Fly Further?
I don't like that one.
Fly further.
That's all.
Yeah, I think they mean fly farther.
No, I think you can say further.
That means fly more. Yeah, you can fly more. Fly farther means you're getting farther away.
But you can get further into the universe. Further works.
Fly
Get
further.
more into the universe.
No, fly
yeah.
further. You're flying further than everyone else. So it's a
Yeah.
race.
No,
it's
it's
like
farther.
an endpoint.
No, farther's
Further.
a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have derailed.
Hey, Joey, you have Google over there.
Yeah.
What happens if you fly
What's the
further?
difference between farther and further?
I just told you that. You said it too. Farther is distance. Further just literally means more.
Yeah, so
Yes.
more. So it's a race.
how
So
do
it
you
makes
Fly
sense.
more.
How do you know that's not what it is?
It
More
is.
than
It
the
could
other
be,
people.
but fly further than anyone's ever been is not a thing. That's farther.
Farther generally refers to literal physical distance, while further typically indicates a figurative or symbolic distance, degree, or extension.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
symbolic because you're not actually getting out of your chair and going farther than someone. You're going further because you don't know how far. A little ambiguous. I don't know. It's not. It's metaphorical.
Also, Gates of Krystalia.
Yes.
So this one is
first of all, so this is like Gate to Krystalia, Last Two, the anime. It's like a lot of
TTJRPG. So it's a tabletop Japanese role-playing game.
yes, but I normally don't put role-playing games into thing other than I already put one in by accident. This one actually looks kind of like a board game to some degree with the cards play and everything. Like there's these 5 cards you draw from a deck and you're using them in an encounter. It doesn't sound like a role-playing game.
It does not. I agree. I don't understand what they mean.
game.
They must mean the setting. It did have those playing cards that immediately reminded me of like Yomi or something.
Oh, I was say playing cards.
Yeah, playing cards. But Yomi, the original Yomi had playing cards.
Really?
I'm like, why?
That's an instant. Like I am hard out of your game.
I don't
If it
li-
has playing cards, I am like.
Unless it's wait. Let me see if she goes with me on this one. Unless it's like a Western themed game where they like actually played playing cards.
Yeah, that's fine. But also, I don't like Western
Why?
games. No, because it fits
It was
in
a
the
close
theme.
call.
Yeah.
If you had gone any farther,
No, because that's like part of that.
goodness.
It's
Yes,
part of
it's
that
okay then,
theme.
but I don't like Western games. I'm like, wait.
I'm telling you, don't like Western games.
You know that.
But
It's
is it
dirty.
because they're farther out there, or
No,
is
they're
it because?
like too further from being good.
All right, fine. Yeah.
Anyhow, you'll know if you want to play this game. We're probably not going to review this one on Dice Tower. I just don't. This sort of animation doesn't really appeal to me.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?
For the
Okay.
Why
playing
did you
cards.
write that?
Project L Universe.
Oh, jeez, Joey.
What's wrong with
Oh
you?
my gosh.
All right, Project L Universe. So Project L, very popular game, and you can see it in the pictures here. They actually combined both games in this picture. Project L
Yeah.
is putting little Tetris shapes in and completing them. It was a very basic polyomino style game
Right.
that was a pretty big hit, despite the fact that its box doesn't look like a board game.
Right.
This is a big blue L on the front, on the sides, nothing practically.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, well, I know what the game is, and every time I see it, I'm like, what is it? Oh, that's right, it's Project L.
Yeah.
Then the expansion to that, which was called, what was it, Square One, was the same thing, but they thought, hey, let's get rid of the polyomino shapes, but we'll still print them on the squares so you can imagine you're putting them out there. I don't get it.
You
think
played Square One and you did not care for it?
it's okay. It's almost the same game except without the polyomino shapes. That's like the
fun.
the drawing
Yeah.
thing. I don't get it.
That's pretty much what I've heard. I haven't played
I
the
haven't played.
squared.
Yeah.
That being said,
So this offers both.
they
basically.
quoted me on Project L. They didn't quote me on the other one. But this is, you can get both of them. That's what it is.
And
You're
there's a
getting-
little
and then-
expansion
and
if
then-
you already have them. For Square One.
Yes, I will say I've always thought that the expansions for even Project L, they had the ghost piece and stuff. They're okay, but you're not missing anything by not having them.
At some point, you have gone past the point of what the game attempted to do in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, you add enough, and you're like, well, you're now betraying the spirit of the thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
they addressed that kind of in the video. We're like, we tried to, we're going to do this, and we kept trying to go bigger, and we kept trying to go bigger, and we decided to come back down to
Square
what it was.
One.
What? No, they didn't do that. But
That's
no,
what
it was
they
just
said
like
in the video, right?
Did
were like,
they
wait.
to Square One? Maybe they did.
Yeah.
Anyway, but kind of bring it back down in scope. So I don't know. Is this just trying to get it more visibility again?
It's a reprint
because
type project, I guess, right?
It is, but it did pretty well. So it's just
And I think it's
why
available.
it's not still in retail.
I think
you
so
know?
too.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but I think the fact you can get both, they're in limited editions, they get the expansion, it's that whole FOMO type thing.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
it's doing well. Gothic, A Shadow's Quest.
It was canceled, so do we still want to look?
How do I keep putting projects in there and get canceled? When was this canceled? Yesterday?
I saw it today and it was canceled.
Well, obviously, if it was canceled yesterday, today.
It did make me go look
Well, I
at the
saw
video
it 2
game.
days ago and it was on.
Have y'all ever played the video game? It did make me go look it up.
No.
Gothic,
Oh,
the
looks
video
pretty
game.
interesting.
Is it like Hexen?
I don't know what that
You
means.
wouldn't know.
Why did
Is
they
it
cancel it,
first
though?
person?
It's not
Hang
like
on, I
Diablo.
want to yell about why they canceled it.
Okay, go into the comments.
Are you going to post right now live? Do it.
Okay, go back it for $1 so you can post.
No, but I want to know why they
What's the last update? Update 11. Play
Yeah,
want
read
to
it.
restart the campaign. It's important to us.
That we get the
It's
license to
difficult,
Gothic.
painful. We've exceeded our target more than threefold, and we could do it. So why aren't you?
Oh, for this reason. Hold on.
Whatever. Here, I'm going to read this. I'm going to summarize this for you. Too
Go.
long, don't read. We didn't get as much money as we wanted, so we're restarting. That's every time it's the same thing.
Oh, it is. It's like, oh, we're going to have a more detailed gameplay trailer. We're going to have this. I mean, they're already making
funded
promises.
3 times over, so I'm confused.
Yeah, because they
weren't getting as much.
50,000 goal, and that's not what they really wanted. They probably wanted 500,000.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I always irritates me.
Yeah.
If you reached your goal, make the game.
How did the video game look?
Old.
It is an old video game.
It was like 2003 or something like that. But
Is
they have
it
like
like-
a remastered one coming out, or a version.
Is it like a
something.
first-person thing? I seem to remember Gothic vaguely, which I never played, was kind of like Hexen, where you were like in catacombs, first person, the person was holding a staff, and you were doing, it was Doom, but you know,
It was hard. I didn't
but
look.
fantasy.
Yeah, I didn't look too much at it. I was like, and I saw a couple different things, and I don't know what was cutscene and what was actual gameplay. I couldn't really tell.
But like you said,
So,
probably looks really old.
Yeah.
Yep.
But interesting.
Here's another cool little abstract type game.
From
Fuer
that company you
Helur.
like, right?
I do like this company. So they've made in the past.
Played a couple of these.
What have I played from them? Well, no, I just actually gave Aquapipe a 4.
Oh, I didn't know it came
Yeah,
in.
I'm surprised you backed it because I remember you thinking you wouldn't. You were thinking you wouldn't like it.
Well, I thought the idea was cool, but I showed you the coloring on the pipes. You couldn't tell which pipe was which
That's
color.
right. You did show me that.
I
That's
was
right.
pretty annoyed by that, actually.
But it was interesting the way they stacked on top. I remember that.
They make a lot of these little games. I've actually not played
They're all kind of
many
like
them.
they're acrylic. Usually they have like an
Yeah.
acrylic
I
kind
played
of feel.
this Tubito one, and I played...
It's pronounced Cubitos.
Wow, I didn't realize they had made that many of these games.
Yeah, and here's 2 more.
I don't know. It looks interesting.
They look neat.
Yeah, so I don't know if you like abstract games and want something cool, and they usually stand out too. They have like really glass pieces,
Production wise.
Yeah,
Okay. Huh.
you got to make 4 in a row with only yours, or make 5 in a row with any color. But you lose if you get 6 in a row. Didn't I?
You and I just played a game in which you were trying to get 4 in a row, but if you made 5, you lost. It was in that Animals collection.
And I said, "There's no way that can happen." And then we set it up, and you could. Like,
Yeah.
If I move here, it's 5 in a row. I'll lose, so I can't do that.
Yeah,
So this sounds the same. That's actually an
but
intriguing
it's
idea.
1 higher.
It's
So
6.
that's got it. This one goes to 11.
All right, let's take a look at the biggest project of the week. This War of Mine 2nd edition. Are
One-
you having
Wow.
a good day?
I need to play this.
$1.5 million.
He plays a game to make him feel better about real life.
No, when I play this game, when I'm done, I feel great. I feel like a
About your real
big
world.
man. Yeah.
If you've
I'm
never
doing
played this,
fine.
this is a game in which you are in a war, but you're not a soldier. You
In
are
a
someone
war.
who's living in a war-torn area, and you are simply trying to survive. Spoiler alert, you will not. Basically, you are trying to stay alive as long as you can before you succumb to actual death, or just you give up on life, because you're going to. You might run into a bunch of orphans and give them some of your food, only to come back later to find that a building fell on top of all of them. And that is not an exaggeration. That's what the game is like. You might you're about to starve, and your best friend's eating a sandwich, and you say, "That's mine." And you punch them and knock them out and take their sandwich. And then they starve to death later on. That is what this game is.
And then do you eat them?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if cannibalism's in this or not.
This isn't a particularly realistic game, and I wish they would fix that for the 2nd edition. Okay? Awakened Realms and 11-bit got to get on that taste of human flesh.
This is the game that put Awakened Realms on the map. This is
did.
their first game that really got them known.
I think it's from the same designer as, if I'm not mistaken, Frostpunk and Nemesis.
That makes sense, because you
okay.
ran into some of those same situations in Frost.
So
Yeah.
it's the same idea.
I
He
won't-
really likes the dark stuff.
Yeah.
I won't play this again. I played both the board game and the video game,
Oh,
and I can't do it. They're too...
really?
Yeah, like in the video game, I went into like an old couple's house in their basement, took their food, and the guy feebly was like, "We need that." I'm like, "I need it more." you know? And I was like, "What am I doing?
I need it more for my
You know?
game.
It's terrible." People come and try and rob you. You know, you're fighting looter. But
Sounds good.
Anyway.
a lot of people
I'm
like this, right? And
I'm
I think
intrigued.
it's almost more of a work of art / learning experience than I don't think you're playing this to have fun.
It's almost like a commentary a little bit.
Maybe.
It's an art piece. Yeah. I would like. I've never played the first edition, and I think at this point I would like to play it, but I'll just wait for second edition here and see what this is like.
I agree.
You know, hopefully it's not so cheery.
I think the goal kind of is survive as long as you can.
And I like that. I really, really like survival games.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind like the dark choices and that kind of stuff, especially if I'm playing with somebody where we're having like a discussion on it. I love Frostpunk, and it has a lot of that, like we said. So I'm intrigued by this.
I think you guys might like it more than I did.
Let's play it live.
I did feel like crying when it was over. I'm like, we need to play a party game now.
But I also really like that Orange Shell Overcome game, which is similar. You know, with the Dutch resistance, and so when you're making,
you can win.
You can, yes. But I mean, you're still making just as tough decisions. You know.
No.
So it depends on if that's what it is. Is winning winning make the decisions feel less bad?
This is definitely one to play live at like 2 a.m.
Yes. There we go. 36-hour bird
I come downstairs in the
ball.
morning and you're just sitting at the table weeping.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we'll do the next marathon. Yeah.
All
All right,
right.
let's jump to some non-board gaming projects. First of all, do you want the most affordable smart compressor ice cream maker?
Yes, I do. I honestly would, but it's tech, and I shan't.
I've never had an ice cream maker. Have you?
Yes.
I've had
And
ice cream.
How long does it normally take to make ice cream?
Well, usually you do this process and then you'll freeze it, and so the freezing takes like another hour or so afterward, or you freeze it before. So total like 2 to 3 hours.
No,
Wait,
they're
hold on
saying
right there.
12 to 24.
This is my favorite image I've ever seen. I think they're like, our thing, $199. A fridge.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? That would be like selling me like a car and be like, this car is $30,000. A plane, like a 747, $30 million. Our car is so cheap and affordable. You can't compare these two things.
Also-
One of those does not make ice cream like at all.
You can't own the ice cream lab or the iCreamlab and then also be like, I don't own a fridge.
I don't need the fridge.
Like,
I put my vegetables in here
in
and
our
they
society,
keep cold.
You have to have a fridge, right? At this point, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
or
don't
an ice
have
box.
to, but I mean, yes. I mean, you can eat canned food. You could live without
but
it.
You would be looked at as a very odd person.
I think
if
you would
told
just
somebody
stay
you have,
home and not tell anybody that.
Generally, you need an ice box at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yes. What's an ice
'Cause some-
box?
An ice box of like the freezer part of a fridge only.
Oh, like a freezer, like a box freezer?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing? Okay.
Yeah.
I never heard that term.
I guess
Ice
you could own
box.
just a cooler and fill it with ice every day, but
You could,
where
but
do
then
you
you
get
got to
the
get that
ice?
ice somewhere, you know? And maybe the
Well, I don't own a
iCreamlab
fridge.
might make ice. I don't know.
anyway, so it's smooth. I've
It
had
seemed a
homemade
little-
ice
You
cream
can-
before.
You can also already make these. I mean, like the Ninja bullets, or not bullets, the Ninjas, they have creamery, what is it called? I think it's called a creamy that makes ice cream in like
Really?
next to no time on your, and you can make all kinds of things. Yeah, some of our friends had, Tony and Leo, we went and had some with them one time.
Oh.
And so like they already have stuff like this out there. This isn't new tech. I don't
But they
understand.
also have the snowy. So I no
They also have
longer
a
need
snowy.
this.
You could just do that,
Oh, my
right.
goodness.
Yesterday I was
Do
like,
you
this
even
is-
own a fridge anymore?
I was
Now
like-
that you have a snowy?
Yesterday we got to the house and the movers were down like, is the snowy unpacked? My wife's like, are you kidding? Like, where's the snowy?
Oh my goodness, that's great. This looks good, but yeah, again, tech.
Speaking of
All
things
right.
that already exist,
Would you like to have more powerful legs
Yes.
and core?
this is already a thing that is used
But
in
you
the
can
gyms.
wear a shield and long rubber bands on your legs.
There's a lot of that I notice
Yeah.
on crowdfunding, things being,
Yeah.
I guess, asking for money for a product that you can get. I mean, not
Yeah.
this exact one, but the
course not.
same thing.
Yeah.
I suppose you could say that for board games. You could be like, well, why would I back a board game? I can just go buy a board game. You can abstract that enough,
guess.
and be like, it's not the same board game.
that might work
but
out though. That's got to feel terrible.
What do you mean? No.
No, again, this is a thing that people already do. This is not
No,
new.
no, I've seen stuff like this before. I'm just saying that just.
That guy's loving it.
well, I mean,
I know it's to build your legs, but that's got to hurt.
I want
it
one of
does
those
not
for
hurt,
like.
but it is difficult. Is that what you mean?
I want one for
Things
my
are not difficult
jaw.
to hurt me.
I see. Yes. it
Is there
hurts.
one that's like a helmet up here and
When
like
we're
some
done,
kind of
carry me
chin
back to my
strap
office.
here, with the cords that makes it hard to open my mouth.
No, you should kickstart that.
And it's
There's a place for that on Kickstarter.
Did you back the iCreamlab? I got the things for you. You put this helmet on him, get over the mouth.
All right, let's move. Our last project.
You work out the jaw, see?
Nowadays, it's getting trickier and trickier when you look at pictures/videos to figure out if it's AI or not.
That's true.
So therefore, let us use AI to tell you if it's AI. Our AI will tell you when you've been AI'd.
Yes.
Not everything you see is real. Is this person real? No. But I will grant that it would be nice to know. This is obviously a silly project, but I'm saying that we are getting to the point now. I'll see a video and I'm like, that can't be real. And then you look a little closer and you can tell.
Yeah.
But we are within years.
We are very close.
I don't even know if
I
years.
agree.
Yeah, maybe year.
I like this idea. Again, kind of governing arm or a security system that tells you this is manipulated, this isn't real.
Right.
And that thing being somehow infallible. I don't know if that's possible, but that's the idea. This isn't that because they don't show a shred of evidence in any of this stuff. It's like a very short page. There's nothing in it.
Right.
But I do like the idea. It's a nice grasp,
Yeah, it's like, hey, we have this idea to do this project. Cool. This page almost feels, again, like we've talked about this before, like a project for a class where it's like, you need to design a web page. You need to run a Kickstarter.
Yes.
You need to, something like that.
That's what it is. And that's the person. Or is it?
Have your business plan. Present as your business plan. Kind of one of those school projects more
than...
This
does kind of feel like a school project. You're right. I hadn't thought of that, but I think you're right.
All righty, let's talk about our picks of the week. Let's start with the recorded stuff.
Oh.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mike DeLisio, and for my pick of the week, I'm going with DICEVERSE, a 2-player battling game where it's kind of an arena-style game where you're throwing dice that represent your units, and there are different factions that all seem to have different abilities. I think what's appealing to me about this one is, first of all, the look. I love the art of the game. I like the different factions that are involved. I took a quick glance over the rule book, and I'm encouraged by the simplicity of the rule set. All of those things come together and make it the one that's the most appealing for me this week. Let's see, what do the other people think are their picks? Let's find out.
All right, well, for me, I'm going to jump right in on that because I'm doing the same thing. DICEVERSE is my pick of the week. I think it looks really fun. Lighthearted, I'm good with that. Chuck a bunch of dice and then play cards back and forth. It's like the Everyman's... Summoner Wars or something simple, or the Everyman's Hiroshima Hex, you guys said. I like that feel. This is one I would definitely have a go at.
Nice.
I'm going to pick the first one, the one that you all made fun of, Starleap. But I think it looks interesting. I have a lot of high hopes for this. I like the kid look to it.
Yeah.
As long as... And I actually don't mind the adjustable game. One of my favorite games, Duel of Ages, had that adjustable length. I don't mind an adjustable game. I don't know, it looks interesting. So I have high hopes.
All right. And I'm actually going to go with the display case for the minis with the background.
Oh, really? Wow.
This one really grabbed me with being able to paint them and have a setting. And then, I'll display it. That's where I'll use to dry. I mean, maybe I don't put plexiglass on it. That's what I set them on to let them dry after I've need to have them air after you... put the varnish on them, like let them air out. And so I'll put it there and kind of rotate them through and have different backgrounds. I thought that this one grabbed me. I really liked the customization, but it wasn't so over the top customization that I think it'd be lost. So yeah, I was intrigued.
Nice.
Well, there you go, folks. That's that. We'll be back live tomorrow morning with board game news. We have a top 10 list tomorrow. I think top 10 wedding games. Games to play at a wedding.
At a wedding.
I'm going to a wedding soon. No, I'm not. I don't think I am in November. I keep forgetting my daughter's getting married until I get the...
Who else were you talking about? I assumed you were talking about your daughter.
I go to people's weddings if I get invited.
What if you don't get invited?
I don't
How many
go.
times?
I'm not a wedding crasher.
What if you take board games, though? Maybe you can brighten up their lives.
I'll bring this war.
Maybe not that one. Come on, man.
Hey, guys, try this out.
Check it out. Orphans.
Alrighty, folks. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Camilla.
Have fun with your kittens. Let's go rescue them.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.